This is Guru Focus Market Today, your afternoon market brief for Monday, July 20. Here's where things stand. The S&P 500 closed slightly lower on Monday, pressured by rising oil prices as geopolitical tensions escalated. The index slipped as oil surged more than 15%, and average U.S. gasoline prices climbed above $4 per gallon, driven by renewed conflict involving Iran. Meanwhile, chip stocks gained ahead of major technology earnings reports.
Turning now to the energy sector, oil prices climbed sharply after President Donald Trump vowed that Iran would pay for the deaths of U.S. service members, further intensifying market concerns over Middle East stability. The spike in oil prices has contributed to higher gas prices nationwide, with the average now exceeding $4 per gallon. Another story we're watching is the European Commission's record fine against AliExpress. The online marketplace was fined €550 million, or approximately $629 million, for failing to curb the sale of unsafe and counterfeit products. This marks the largest penalty to date under the European Union's Digital Services Act.
Also making news today, AMC Entertainment shares surged after the company reported its highest ever quarterly revenue and adjusted EBITDA in its 106-year history. The strong financial results defied bearish forecasts and sent the stock sharply higher during the session. Turning to the technology sector, Google is adapting to artificial intelligence-driven shifts in how users access information online. The company stated that its AI features have increased search activity, even as industry observers raise concerns about changing web traffic patterns.
Meanwhile, in corporate news, Tesla is set to report its second quarter results on July 22nd. Analysts are forecasting revenue of $27.6 billion, with investors closely watching for updates on the company's robot taxi initiative and Optimus, its humanoid robot project. This next story is about Archer Aviation, whose shares rose 20% after unveiling the Thunder hybrid electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. The new vehicle, developed in partnership with Anduril, targets both defense and commercial markets, highlighting growing interest in advanced air mobility solutions. Elsewhere, Tempus AI announced the acquisition of Personalis for $1.5 billion. Despite the scale of the deal, Tempus shares declined following the announcement. Turning now to the restaurant industry. U.S. restaurant traffic fell as a nationwide cyclosporiasis outbreak, traced by the FDA to iceberg lettuce, impacted chains including Taco Bell and others. The decline in visits reflects consumer caution amid ongoing food safety concerns. In the airline sector, JetBlue Airways secured Spirit Airlines' coveted slots at New York's LaGuardia Airport and is considering relocating to the Marine Air Terminal to expand its presence in the region. Staying with corporate developments, Mars Wrigley will close its Newark, New Jersey office, laying off 307 employees as it relocates its U.S. headquarters to Chicago. This move continues a trend of corporate departures from New Jersey. On the technology front, Moonshot AI, a private Chinese artificial intelligence firm, paused new subscriptions to its Kimi K3 model due to overwhelming demand. Chinese AI models like Kimi K3 and Alibaba's QN are gaining global attention for their ability to rival U.S. counterparts. Meanwhile, open-source AI platform Hugging Face disclosed a security breach affecting internal datasets and credentials, urging users to take precautionary measures. SpaceX experienced 2 last-second Falcon 9 launch aborts and has rescheduled its crucial Starship Flight 13 test for July 23rd. In grocery retail, several chains, including Giant Eagle, have announced price cuts on hundreds of products. The move drew public praise from President Donald Trump amid ongoing inflation concerns. Finally, a look at upcoming earnings. Danaher, Marsh, 3M, and D.R. Horton will report before market open tomorrow,
while Steel Dynamics is set to report after today's close. Analyst estimates for these companies range from earnings per share of $1.33 to $3.77, and revenues from $5.6 billion to over $9 billion.
That wraps up today's market update. We'll be back soon with the latest market news. Thanks for listening to the Guru Focus Brief.